honestly, yeah. I like that one, boy. That breaking news bangs. Anyway,
Mhm.
this is the Keep It P podcast where we take news situations, everyday occurrences, and indeed we show how one could have and could not have been keeping it P. And I ain't trying to tell you what to think, right? I'm trying to show you how to think. That's the reason why I bust down the articles, cuz. Now come on now. Now check it out, man. Sometimes you gotta learn when you're winning, man. And in this case, I would say this is a small victory, you know. So we got Thomas Lane, one of the accomplices in the George Floyd murder, sentenced to only 2 years in prison. Only 2 years, brother. What you got? What you think about that? What you think about that, Mr. Von
Yeah,
Savage?
the haters really.
I mean,
That's what I say.
it is nice to get some
it's a
sort of
small victory because they wasn't getting none. But I'm just saying, still though, you know what I'm saying. I feel like you should have got a little bit. Nah, I will. Trying to understand. IT. I understand.
Thank you.
Fam got saying he gonna be going to prison. Hold on. Not for 2.5 years though.
Right.
Not for 2.5
You know it ain't gonna be
years.
all that time. You know damn well he getting out on some early.
So Cuz probably gonna do a year and a day, fam.
If that.
Let's keep it real.
That's probably like 4 or 5 months with a whole bunch of probation, fam. Oh, look at the mugshot they got for Cuz too.
Oh, you got it up? Where are you at?
I'm looking at it. You got it pulled up, the mugshot, and it's just, and it looked like he looked like, I'm so sorry, be lenient on me. I didn't mean to kill the black man. They tried to put up the most I'm sorry joint ever. You know what? I ain't sent out notifications to the Messenger family in a minute. So I'm tapping in with all the Messenger family, man. Y'all get on up in here.
Y'all talking about breaking
news. What y'all talking
Buster
about?
Douglas
got a measly 2 years. A
See
measly.
how they put the half on their P, like.
Oh yeah.
Half.
Yeah. Like that was like he really put in, like he really just dug deep. He did some soul searching.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not hearing none of that.
That's all you gonna get for the M1. I mean, you was an accomplice, P.
What about everybody else that's an accomplice to murder?
Huh?
Do we got some video?
You said what?
We got some video. I sent you over there searching.
I was trying to find some to see what these busters got to say, but I just thought about it. I don't really care what they got to say.
I really You actually took the words out of my mouth right there with that. I don't really care about Buster Brown and all of his Buster endeavors. But it actually says family members of George Floyd say that they're angered at the federal judge's sentencing Thursday of 2.5 years for former police officer convicted of civil rights violations of George Floyd's killing. U.S. District Attorney Judge Paul Magnuson
sentenced Thomas Lane well below the 5.25 years at the bottom of the range for so-called sentencing guidelines. So here we go as uh, another example of a judge getting on code with white supremacy and saying, forget what the law says and what the recommendations say. I'm white and I say so. I ain't giving them that much time. It says prosecutors just asked Magnuson to sentence Lane to up to 6.5 years. Wow, the prosecutors. Still ain't enough, but they argued that Lane, who was white, had a chance to stop the restraint that killed George Floyd, who was black, but chose not to. That is correct. He had a good choice. What happened to all the good apples? Is there good apples? Do good apples exist? Is there good apples? Where's the good apples, cut?
Where's the good apples,
cut? It says Philonise Floyd, one of Floyd's brothers, called it insulting that he didn't get the maximum amount of time. He said that Lane was an accessory to murder, and he thinks that the whole criminal
what
system,
I said?
He is, and I'm glad that he said it too. He's a real big accessory to murder, is what he said. The nephew of Floyd, Brandon Williams, said that he was angry and he was fed up. Lane's attorney had argued that he twice asked his colleague if Floyd should be turned on his side, as the officer restrained him for more than 9 minutes face down with handcuffs, saying that he couldn't breathe and eventually grew still. Magnus faulted the Minneapolis Police Department for sending Lane on a call with another rookie. And he said that he has never received more letters of support from a defendant than he got for Lane. Now y'all finna sit here and explain for this dude.
Make sure y'all get all kind of letters of support. God forbid you get into it with the system, the tyrannical system. Make sure you get plenty of letters, because letters, he just said, matter.
I guess. This is a breaking news update. The AP's earlier story follows below. Minnesota St. Paul federal judge sentenced former Minneapolis police officer Derek Lane to 2.5 years in prison, violating George Floyd's civil rights and calling Lane's role in the resistance that killed George Floyd a very serious offense, in which a life was lost, but handing down a sentence well below the prosecutor's recommendation, and the family sought to pretty much nut up about the decision. It goes on to say that here they go with the letter shit again. It says Magnu told Lane, the fact that you did not get up and remove Mr. Chavin when Mr. Floyd became unconscious is a violation of the law. But he also held up 145 letters he said he had received supporting Lang, saying he had never received so many on behalf of a defendant. So just because you got a couple, that's what you use.
He just told you the number, 145 letters. If you get 145 letters of support, the judge should be willing to sway away from what the family wants, away from what the prosecutor wants,
away what the minimum requirements are. Yeah. And give you what he wanted you, and should be reduced.
Hold on. So you can give what you want, huh, Judge?
You can circumvent the law. You don't have to give mandatory minimums, huh? I guess mandatory minimums ain't mandatory now, are they? Or is that I'm good old? Or is that I'm good old? I'm white and I say so.
But if you have nothing to do with a dog fighting ring, and you're Michael Vick and you're black, man, you're going down, P, for 4 years.
Right. Hey, man, I'm finna go because my hotspot is finna go out in a few seconds because my phone is too hot. Hold on, let me see if I can cool it off real quick and save us. But yeah, this is ridiculous. This is Jerry Ridiculous. And again, you know, there's a two-tier justice system, and
two-tiered justice system. You heard what he said. One for you darkies, and one for everybody else. That's it. That's all. If you black, you got a justice system. Then you got one for mommy and zaddy and all their underlings. But what we ain't gonna do is we ain't gonna hold you. Just gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on cold, y'all. We had to tap in with the breaking news before y'all get the pearls and the chucks and get to crying in the streets and screaming how justice has been served. What would a black man get for aiding and abetting a murder? What would a black person get? This isn't justice. It's just us. Remember that. Gotta give you a word, since we got you here, about the petition. We got a petition, y'all. It'd be wonderful if you even got your granny to sign it. Listen up.
Be one to the family. This is Kendra Blackwood of Hot Lava Music TV and the Hot Lava Media Group. And I come to you today with an urgent call to action. And with that being said, this petition is to demand the US government immediately make anti-black racism a public health crisis is now an active campaign at change.org. And after this message, I'm going to need you to go over there and show your support. Right after you smash that like and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications. It doesn't cost you a thing. Now, this is a petition to demand cash reparations for foundational Black Americans addressing two critical components. So what is anti-Black racism? Anti-Black racism is defined here as policies and practices rooted in American institutions such as government, finance, education, healthcare, and justice that mirror and reinforce economic deprivation, racially targeted laws, beliefs, attitudes, prejudice, stereotyping and/or discrimination toward foundational Black Americans. What is a public health crisis, you ask? Well, a health crisis or public health crisis is a difficult situation or complex health system that affects humans in one or more geographic areas, from a particular locality to encompass the entire planet. Health crises generally have significant impacts on community health, loss of life, and on the economy. And ultimately the solution to the problem, it is imperative that the United States government declare anti-Black racism a public health crisis for foundational Black Americans. In 2020, as a community, Asian Americans experienced only 287 hate crimes nationwide. However, FBA in the same year suffered 2,871 reported hate crimes. As we know, those are just the reported accounts according to the F.B.I. As foundational Black Americans, we know that the number should reach in the billions daily. This resulted in a 94-1 unanimous decision to pass into law an anti-Asian hate crime provision to make Asian a protected class. With anti-Black racism being thousands of times more prevalent and permeating within the fabric of America, we ask that you sign this petition to say we are sick of studies and commissions to study forums and meaningless holidays and nothing burger symbolic gestures. We demand the U.S. government to urgently disperse the first initial reparations cash payment of $20 trillion to the surviving descendants of American chattel slavery. AKA, cut the damn check. And I mean that. Jack. On my ancestors.
We need to go out here and say exactly what we want. And we got to say it with our chest. And we kind of start pussyfooting around, and we got to stop being scared to say exactly what we want, what we need. We need that paper.